to our viewers and followers of Barangay Canada. So, on this special update, we will be joined by the Federal Minister of Families, Children, and Social Development. She is visiting Winnipeg to announce new childcare spaces and new supports to attract more early childhood educators. Mga kabarangay, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Minister Jenna Sudds. Minister Sudds, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's great to be with you again.
And it's great to have you. Thank you for stopping by. So I understand that you are here in Winnipeg and you're going to be meeting with some local officials about these new childcare spaces and attracting new childhood educators. Please share more about these details if you can. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, it's an exciting day, and it's always great to be in Manitoba. Today, I have the great news that we have worked with the province and are announcing today 700 new childcare spaces across this province, and really focused in two particular areas. So one is focused in healthcare facilities. So 324,000 new spaces. If you can appreciate healthcare workers, typically working non-traditional hours, just how amazing it would be to have healthcare facilities within these hospitals or healthcare buildings. So very excited to be able to better support our healthcare workers, really meeting parents where they're at, and in this case, where they work. This also, of course, lessens the burden for them and hopefully makes healthcare workers' life a little bit easier. The second area where we will see 384 new spaces created is in connection with post-secondary institutions. So there, the desire being to see more childcare facilities on campus to really facilitate whether it's staff or students who need that childcare to be able to access it easily on campus. And the last piece that's really exciting about today is really focused on early childhood educators. So the people who make these 700 new spaces actually run and care for our kids. We're announcing a up to $5,000 tuition reimbursement for these cherished folks as well.
No, that's welcome news for a lot of parents, Minister said. So thank you for sharing that. Now, I guess a lot of parents are also thinking about the affordability about these new childcare spaces. Do you want to elaborate more about that?
Sure,
Yeah, go
absolutely.
ahead.
Yeah, so when we set out on this mission to create this national early learning and childcare system, our ambition was to get these childcare spaces to $10 a day for parents. Here in Manitoba, that's already happened. I'm really proud of the work we've done with the province to get to $10 a day. This is saving parents almost $3,000 each and every year. So very substantial savings, but it's also just really high quality and affordable care that has enabled more and more parents to get back into the workforce. We're seeing record levels of women's participation in the workforce, which is just really remarkable.
Thank you. And then let me just go back to that part where these childcare spaces are going to be established where the workers are specifically those who are working in the healthcare sector. A lot of Filipinos are actually
Absolutely.
working in the healthcare sector. When you say that, does that mean they're going to be open in healthcare facilities? Do you want to?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you rightly pointed out, and absolutely, this certainly has a big impact for Filipino community and those working in the healthcare sector. The goal here is to see more spaces created within hospitals or healthcare facilities. So that if you can imagine, if you're a nurse or a doctor or any sort of healthcare worker working in a hospital, when you're going in for your shift, which often is not 9 to 5, that you have access, you can bring your child right to your workplace and have access to care right on site.
Now, I'm curious about that, Minister Suds. Is that something I'm not very familiar with how childcare spaces are set up in healthcare facilities? Is that a first here in Manitoba, or is it like in
This
other provinces? It's already happening.
Yeah, so this is the first time I would say where working with the province, there's been a focused effort on focusing on healthcare as well as I mentioned, on university, college, post-secondary institutions. And it's really identifying a need, right? It's recognizing that there has not been enough space creation to serve the needs of both those on a university, college, post-secondary campus, as well as within the healthcare sector. So it's really a positive move. I know I'll have the pleasure of speaking with some healthcare workers later today, and I know it will certainly be welcome news. Hopefully, some of your viewers will be there as well.
Hope so too. And then finally, Minister says, if that's okay, going to the early childhood educators, I know that attracting and retaining them
Mm.
has been a persistent challenge. So, what concrete steps or what methods is the federal government taking to ensure that there are enough trained staff to support
Mhm.
these expanded childcare services?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Across the country, we've now seen over 150,000 new childcare spaces created. At no time in history have we seen the pace of creation of childcare. But that comes with it, absolutely, the need to focus and invest in the workforce, the early childhood educators who make this all possible. And so, our agreement with the province, in which we are providing funding, does require that the province do the work to, first of all, see wages increase over the 5-year agreement. And we are seeing those investments in increases in wages. And then secondly, as I was sharing, focusing on the reality that sometimes the tuition piece is a barrier for folks who are interested in studying to become an ECE. So today's announcement of the $5,000 tuition reimbursement helps to take down one more barrier, to make it a little bit easier for folks who are interested in getting into this profession to be able to afford to do so. These are critical investments in my mind to make sure that the workforce is well supported and that it continues to grow to meet the needs.
And thank you for providing all of those details, Madam Minister. And I'm sure that a lot of parents are going to be welcoming this news here in our province of Manitoba. So that was the Federal Minister of Families, Children, and Social Development, the Minister Jenna Sudds, the Honorable Minister Jenna Sudds. Madam Minister, thank you very much for stopping by and sharing this wonderful news with us.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
And mga kabarangay, that wraps up our special update of Barangay Canada. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Paalam po muna.